Morning everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Drives. So we're here today with an amazing looking red Alfa 4C. I've wanted to drive one of these cars for many years now, ever since owning my 147 GTA. I may actually buy one of these cars in the future, so this is going to be really interesting for me today. So we've got this amazing looking car. It is made out of carbon fiber, the chassis and the monocoque, which is really new technology and quite a modern thing to have on a sports car. It's mid-engined, it's got a 1.75 litre turbocharged engine from the Giulietta, and it's also dual clutch as well for the transmission. We've got the owner Brett here as well, so we're going to be asking Brett a few questions and also letting us know about the ownership experience, what it's like to own one of these Alfa 4Cs. So Brett, we're really interested to understand, how long you've owned the car for.
Yep, I purchased it in 2017. It was an ex-display vehicle, so it had 2,000 kilometres on it, and so I've had it 5 years now.
Wow.
And yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. How many kilometres have you driven?
We're now up to 37.
Oh, yep, 37.
Yeah, so
that's pretty decent.
It gets used. Yeah, it's not a museum piece.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, especially around some of these roads out in the countryside, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's country roads definitely where this thing needs to be taken and experienced.
The design.
I really love the look of the Alfa 4C. It is brilliant. It looks amazing. It looks like it's been designed really well. I love the flowing lines as well. My fiance, she really likes the look of the 4C, which is always a big plus. She wants a 4C one day, which is why I said, maybe we'll buy one day. Just the way that it's been designed, it doesn't look like any other car on the road. You can tell instantly that it's an Alfa because of the schiedetto, the shield grille. So that's really amazing. It's obviously got the Alfa Romeo logo, lots of history behind that. And some of the earlier cars had the slightly different headlight units, whereas this one has got the traditional headlight unit, where it's got the plastic over the whole headlight. I do like this design a little bit better, and apparently this is a nod back to the Alfa 33. It's a very similar design to the Alfa 8C as well. So we've got lots of Alfa DNA that's embedded all around this car. Alright, so coming down to the front grills, the first thing you'll notice is that the grills are very low to the ground, and they are all functional, all the vents and everything, it's all very functional. You've got a radiator right at the back there, so you've got lots of air going through the grill into the radiator. So some of the other little details down here at the front are really nice. So we've got a little bit more of a design down here and some trim pieces rather than just that wire mesh. So they've really put some thought into what the design looks like, and we've got this little piece here, which is obviously a little bit of aero, and that probably helps to create downforce, but it also makes the car look a little bit better as well, look a little bit more sporty, makes it look like it's got a little bit of a lip. So moving to the side of the car, we've got quite a large side mirror here actually, which is surprising for such a small car, but I guess that gives you a lot of visibility. Now Brett's put on the carbon mirror covers. I don't think these are a factory, or these are stock. And then moving back here, again we've got like a really nice designed, sculptured look to the whole side of the car. So it helps to direct the air obviously into this vent, but it also makes the car look really sporty, makes it look a little bit aggressive, but very elegant at the same time. And then we've got this big vent which is on either side of the car, and this will be taking air into the engine, which is actually in the middle of the car. It's a mid-engine sports car, similar to a Lotus, I guess. Okay, so some of the other small details here. If you open the petrol fillet cap, there's actually a really nice Alfa logo right in there, and apparently that's completely stock. So it's nice that they've managed to put a lot of design touches and a lot of features just to make you feel like this is a little bit more of a special car. So very nice touch there, Alfa Romeo. Okay, so we're at the back of the car now, and we're just having a look inside the engine bay, and again you can see some of that carbon fiber which is coming through from the chassis and some of the structural elements of the car. And we've got a intake pipe for the turbo, which is going all the way from the side vents, but it doesn't actually take up the entire side of the vent there, because a lot of the airflow comes through and cools down the engine bay as well. We've also got an intercooler on the left hand side on the other side pod, so all the services and all of the things that the car needs, it's all there. And we've got a big 4C logo. The 4C actually stands for 4 cylinders. So this is a 4-cylinder Giulietta motor. It comes from the Giulietta. And from factory, I believe it has 240 horsepower. Is that right, Brett?
Yep, that's correct. 240 horsepower. The Giulietta engine's been a very reliable engine over the years, and they took it for the 4C. They managed to shave 25 kilos of weight off that same engine just for this model, because it's all about weight saving on this car. This particular car has a stage 1 tune on it, so it has 280 horsepower, which for a 960 kilo vehicle is more than enough.
Okay, so let's try and take the top off. So we pull on these two clips and then we just fold it up. All right, and this is pretty amazing as well. So the roof just fits into the boot, just like that. There is a bag for it, but we're not going to bother today. This is going to be the first time that I jump in and drive, so it'll be really exciting. Hopefully, being a Lotus owner, I know what to do. So usually you put your left leg in like this, and then you kind of slide across. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. The sill is not too high. It's definitely a lot lower than the Lotus sills, at least in the Exige. And the interior feels a lot nicer. You know, everything feels a little bit more premium. Obviously, you can still see all the carbon, which is amazing. Like, that is premium in itself. But just the fit and finish and the dash, it actually all comes together really nicely. Oh, there we go. I think my foot wasn't on the brake the first time. Wow, this is quite an interesting experience. It's quite loud at the back actually, which is great. So we've got a fully digital dash. We've got a rev counter around the outside that goes up to 7,000 RPM. And then we've got the speed in the middle, which just shows you what gear you're in, which is really handy. It's a really nice feature, I like that. And I think it's got the tire pressure monitoring system in the middle there as well, where it's showing you that all 4 tires are okay. So really clear, really bright display, very simple, which is good for a sports car. Alright, so one of the interesting things about this car is the drive selector. So we've got the DNA selector, which is Alfa Romeo's drive mode selector down here. And it also reflects on the screen as well when I'm changing the modes. So it starts off in A, which is all weather, and then you have to push it up and hold it for it to go into N. N is for natural, and then if we push up even more, it goes into dynamic. And there's actually a hidden secret mode, which is pretty amazing, which is the race mode. So if you hold the DNA switch a little bit longer, Alfa Romeo race. Wow. And the traction control turns off automatically as well. So that's pretty cool. So in fact, it's not DNA, it's an RDNA. But it's pretty awesome that this guy has a race mode as well. Kind of tells you what this car's all about. Alright everyone, so this is the very first time that I'm driving an Alfa Romeo 4C. First impression is that it's very low. You can definitely tell that the car sits very low to the ground. It hugs the ground a lot. And it's pretty loud. I mean, I think Brett's definitely modified the car quite a bit from standard. There's a lot of exhaust noise that comes through.
Yep.
But it's actually not uncomfortable, to be honest. It's a very similar experience to driving the Exige, I would say. The pedals are definitely a little bit different because they are floor mounted. So it takes a little while to get used to where the pedal position is. So you do have to be a little bit careful when you're driving this car around. Make sure that you get the pedal position correct before you set off, because it's not quite what you'd expect. But yeah, it's a really nice car to cruise around in, especially with the top off.
Wow, nice exhaust sound.
Very, very nice. On that upshift.
Yeah.
You can really hear it, yeah.
The blip, very nice.
Oh, did you hear the blow-off valve?
Very nice.
Holy crap.
Are we in normal mode?
This is just normal mode, natural mode.
Okay.
Wow. It definitely has a bit of go.
Yeah.
Wow.
How's the handling?
It's so easy. I feel like the steering wheel is really fast. The steering rack is super quick. Wow. You don't really need to steer the car at all. It just kind of goes. Wow, that's amazing. And the turbo actually feels really good. There's not much lag. Yeah, it's a really fun kind of car to drive, and there's a lot of noises, right? You get a lot of turbo noise,
Yeah.
you get a blow-off valve noise.
Yeah. Wind noise. Wow.
And then we're going to put it into
Dynamic.
dynamic mode, and we'll put it into manual as well.
Ooh. It has a bit of, it does have a bit of go.
Oh yeah.
Wow. The power delivery is actually pretty good. Whoa.
Wow, there's a lot of torque.
Quite a
actually.
bit of torque.
Yeah, there's a lot of torque.
Was that full throttle or just
Full throttle.
okay?
Yep.
Pretty good, pretty good.
But yeah, it actually doesn't have a lot of turbo lag. So you put your foot down. Yeah, and I think the dual clutch gearbox really helps that because it shifts so quickly.
Yeah.
And it goes into the higher rev range so quickly.
Yeah.
That you don't feel like there's a lot of lag. Yeah, amazing.
Oh, love that sound. Are you in manual mode or?
That was auto mode, but I was using the pedals a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a fun car to drive.
That's
and it's,
great.
And it's so easy to drive, you know, because it's got the dual clutch gearbox.
Yeah.
You don't really have to think about it. Like it just goes.
Focus on the driving,
You
right?
can focus on the driving, you
Yeah.
focus on the roads,
That's right.
and it builds up speed pretty quickly. Yeah. I love the ride though as well. I think the ride is actually better than our Exige. You know, it actually is really comfortable.
Yeah.
And the steering wheel is not very heavy at all. Right? For a manual steering, no power steering, remember? This is totally manual. It actually works really well. All right, Frank. First time driving a 4C. Do you like the noise?
I like that noise, man. That is great.
It's a pretty fun
Oh, the
noise.
steering is actually quite light.
Yeah, that's what I felt as well.
It's much lighter than our Exiges.
Yeah.
Ah, that's surprising.
I know.
And even at lower speed, just now when I was pulling out,
Yep, it's a lot lighter. Yeah.
it's a lot lighter.
Yeah.
It feels like a hydraulically assisted drag, but it's
Yeah.
not. That's funny. Wow, the pedal placement is so weird.
It's different, right?
It's so different.
Yeah. You have to get used to it. Yeah. Where's the brake? Where's the brake?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, scared me a bit. Oh, the downshift and pickup is actually quite fast.
It's quite responsive, right?
Wow, very responsive. The brakes are pretty good too.
I think the surprising thing about this car is that it looks very pretty and very elegant, and it's very small.
But it's
you don't-
actually really brutal.
Yeah, exactly. You don't expect this torque, this power, this noise to come from such a good-looking car, right?
Oh, I totally agree. Hey, that's the dual personality of this car. Right? It doesn't look as mean as it actually drives. Wow, it's amazing. Love it. Wow, the rear tire just doesn't. Oh, the turn in. Wow, really good.
There's a lot of torque there.
Wow, it's so comfy too, eh?
Yeah,
it's
I know.
much more comfortable than our Exiges.
I have to agree, yeah.
You can drive this as a daily or
You could, yeah.
you
Yep.
can totally do that,
You could daily this, yep.
but not with our Exiges.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Oof, wow, what an amazing experience driving this car around, especially on these back roads. It's so fun, it's so light, it's so agile, and that power delivery is actually surprisingly good for a 4-cylinder turbo. It's really, really amazing to drive actually, and all the feedback in the steering wheel, everything that you get, it's a really involved and really nice experience. So thank you again, Brett, for letting us experience this car today and taking a video of the car.
You're welcome.
And you said you've owned the car for 5 years. What's that been like? You know, owning this 4C.
Well, for what you kind of call an exotic car, I guess, they can be fairly expensive to maintain. This has been very cheap to maintain. 5 years I've had nothing really go wrong with it, other than the odd servicing that it needs, and tyres. It likes to consume rear tyres for some reason. But it's very cheap on gas. They will get up to 40 miles per gallon
Wow.
if you use the old American. But yeah, they're very cheap to run, cheap to maintain, and yeah, great little car. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been yeah, very exciting little machine to own.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I can see that this car can be really fun, and it's quite special as well. You know, there's not many cars that you can buy, especially around this price range. I think when these cars were brand new, they were about 130, 140,000.
That was the sticker price, yes.
Yeah,
so generally you could
that's
get
right.
them for slightly less than that. But
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're really getting like supercar technology for a sports car price, and very similar to the Lotuses that we have as well. The philosophy is the same. It's very lightweight, very fun engine, you know, very happy to rev sort of engine. So it really gives you that involvement, that driver control, and it teaches you how to drive. You know, if you drive one of these cars, it really teaches you how to drive properly. So yeah, amazing experience. Thanks again to Brett. And hopefully you enjoyed the video on the Alfa Romeo 4C. There's not many of these around, so this is a very special video. And like and subscribe, and we will see you soon in the next video. Thanks.